Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Dr. Sayyid Raza Muhyiddin, member of the visiting faculty, Time Institute, Multan for MPH classes. Today is the fifth lecture on health systems and health systems analysis. And today we will discuss about the systems approach, the different types of healthcare systems or health systems, and of course the conceptual frameworks of health systems. Some of this we have already learned in the previous lectures, but now we will discuss all these in sequence. So we start with the systems approach. So what is a systems approach? The systems approach was first derived by Ludwig, and this was called as general systems theory. It's an old concept. It stands on the assumption that breaking down of a complex concept into simple, easy to understand units helps in better understanding of the complexity. So this is systems approach for general thing, and the same is applied in the healthcare systems, that we have got different cells, tissues, then organs, which they form a system for a combined effect. Like we have digestive system, consists of mouth and entry points, esophagus, stomach, intestines, and all these have then the tissues and the cells in that which perform their specific functions, but they all come under digestive system because their function is unique. So this is the systems approach. Is when we discuss the simple approach and we discuss different units, so we make the complex thing into a simple understanding. Then what are the characteristics of a systems approach? The systems approach mostly have a structure. Then this structure is defined by parts and its composition, as already I've told you. Then the systems have their behaviors. So how they behave, they have involves input, processing, and outputs of material, energy or information. You have learned in the previous lectures. Then these systems have interconnectivity. They are interconnected with each other. The various parts of a system have functional as well as structural relationships between each other. And if you see different systems of the human body, you can well understand that the different organs of the system are interconnected anatomically and physiologically. Then the systems can be classified or made into groups in different ways. So the system can be a closed system, an open system, an isolated system. And surroundings and environment. So everything external to the matter or space, which is is called surroundings or environment. Surrounding or environment is thing which is external to us is surrounding. Then all the systems have three basic elements. Already while teaching the basic concept of health systems, I told you these are input, processing and output. So very wide term, inputs, processing and output. So all the systems, they have got their different inputs, their different processing styles, and of course they have got the different outputs. Now there are other elements as well, which include control, feedback, boundaries, environment and interfaces. So input is the data or whatever comes inside the system to produce certain output. So then there is a structural approach. This was systems approach. The other approach is a structural approach. So a social structure, what we have, the topic is, it is composed of three levels, same as the health systems have three levels. One is a macro system, as the word macro indicates, it is large. So this consists of a society's ideology and culture. Then there are shared beliefs and ways of doing things, the policy decisions, the government decisions, the politics, the legal, all that I've, told you in the previous lectures, that this is the macro system is one concerned on the top level with policies and decisions and legislations. Then there are cultural systems and social values, this you all know, and then are the social and health systems. These are all the main systems, how we live, how our health system is. This is also it's full is as it's a macro system. So then the educational system and recreational systems, these all come under macro systems. Now, in between is a mesosystem. This made of relationship between two or more groups which are divided into what is called as a member of that group. So mesosystem is a group, a combination of some small groups. Then it is in between the micro system and a macro system. Then is the quality of connections are important. It is a middle structure, and it is the individual's immediate community is a mesosystem. And this is a relationship between parents and child care, recreational centers, faith communities, schools, etc. These form the mesosystem. So there are sometimes, the boundaries are fuzzy, can be intermingled of all these three systems. Then are the microsystem. It consists of small groups in which people interact face to face. There are some, like adults, family, workplace, and organizations of which they are members. Okay, so like you work in a school or in a hospital, and for you it's a macro system. You have got interaction over place, it's a macro system. And your family is a micro system. And so it is, there is some directly, it affects the quality of your life, nature, and other things. Now we will see what are in detail, what is a microsystem, especially as regards microsystem of health. So a microsystem in healthcare delivery can be defined as a small group of people who work together on a regular basis to provide care to discrete sub-proportion of patients. It has clinical and business aims, linked processes, shared information environment, and produces performance outcomes. So in this microsystem, you have all the components of a system. You have an input, you have the people, you have the source of information and processing, and of course the outcomes. And these all, they are evolved over times and are often, these are embedded in larger organizations. So these microsystems are basically the building blocks that come together to form macro organizations. So if you go to a health delivery system, if you just put an eye on that, you will find many micro systems you can find, like there is an emergency care center somewhere, there is a diagnostic center somewhere, there can be a pathological laboratory, a physiotherapy clinic, a daycare center, surgery center, asthma center, and there can be a nutritional clinic, there can be a gynecological child care center, and or there can be a neonatal ICU or a CCU. So all these are microsystems which can work separately, or they unite, or they come together to form a macro organization. So these systems can be seen in whatsoever we call it onion perspective. If you see the onion, you see, if you just cut the onion, you make a cross section, you find different layers. So that is the system. These are layers of the system. On the most inner side is a self-care system. Yourself. What you have made a system for you, your way of life, your approaches, your, whatever you do, this is your personal system. And around it is a individual caregiver and patient system is just around you. Then around that is that microsystem which I told you, and then around that is a macro organization system, that the different microsystem they come together to form a macro structure, and then on the outer side is the community, the market, the social policy, the public policy, and that is the main macro system. So this is an onion perspective of also comes the level of the quality improvement. Then there are 10 success characteristics that are associated with high performance in case of these systems. For these systems to perform in a high spirit are the strong leadership, great organizational support, focus on staff and professionals, very important. Without the human resource development, without their structural and behavior change, your organization is zero. Because whatsoever good infrastructure you have, how smart is your equipment, how good is your policy, how much large your budgeting is, if the human resource is lazy, clumsy, and it is not motivated, you can't find good results. So it is time to work over the human beings. You have to make them skilled, you have to provide them trainings, and of course the trainings are for the attitudes about how to perform the business of all this healthcare delivery. And then is the education and training of staff. The focus of the staff is education and training. That interdependence of the care team, we all are dependent to each other. I am a clinician, I am dependent on pathologist, I am dependent on radiologist, and if I am a surgeon, I am dependent on anesthetist, and so on. And then we have also all are dependent on electricians and our paramedical staff, and whatsoever are technicians. So this system is, all the people are interdependent, all the departments are interdependent. Then it must be performance result oriented. We must have an eye like in chess, the eye is on the queen, not on the soldiers which are fighting, or the horses or the elephants. So our eye must be on the performance, our goal and mission. And then it must be process improvement focused, because there is no such process, no such work, or no action which don't have a room for improvement. we can improve ourselves, and we must be improvement focused. And of course, in the light of the globalization, and of course, because keeping in view the arrival of the new technology and the changing behavior of the customers and clients are the patients. Then are the patient-centered, patient-focused approach, because these healthcare delivery systems are all the health policies. These are made for the betterment of the health of the people. So we must be patient-centered. The patients are our clients, are the people, are the VIPs for us. We must, our attention must be focused on their welfare. And then is the community and market focus. Of course, we have to see the community as well. And there must be technology orientation. We must adopt the recent information and information technology sports. And these are the characteristics to achieve high performance. And now we will see there are 5 P's of the microsystems. And what we have to look into this, the characteristic or our goal in the microsystem is, it's 5 P's: purpose, patients, professionals, processes, and patrons. This I have already discussed, but now for the learning purposes, these are grouped together. It is called 5P approach. And purpose is our aim and mission. I have already explained you. Patients, I already told you, this is our reason for doing our work, are the reasons why this healthcare system have been adopted. And the professionals are our staff who work, they are frontline workers, and to look after their interests, their safety, and their work hours, their work hour equity. All that is very important element in that microsystem. Then are the processes. So this our system is interrelated events and constitute the microsystem. We have to see for the betterment and for the processes. And then are the patrons, how the way of doing our work. When we will measure our work, we will just analyze our data, and we will go through run charts. We can find our positive and negative points, and by that learning we can give a better feedback on for the next application of our system. Then this is all with the microsystems. And now again we come to the old discussion of health systems, and we will see the different conceptual frameworks of the health system. So already discussed many times, health systems are this combination of resources, organizations, financing, management, and the delivery of health services to the population. And all those activities whose primary purpose is to promote, restore, or maintain health comes under the health system. So all these components are interacting, and each have a synergy and coherence. So every different task of health system or its component is linked in, and either it facilitates the other action, or it is concerned with it is the partner of the other action. So its health system components are interacting also with the environment and external, that are political environment, social environment, economic environment, and it is dynamic and evolve. It's over time. Then the health system have got certain boundaries in relation to health actions. These activities with indirect impact are to be excluded, that investments on water supply and sanitation, food subsidies, supplementary school, and these are all concerned with the better health of the people, but actually they don't form the bulk of the health activities which are performed into a health system, by a health system. These are concerned with the health system, but these are performed by separate departments like public health department, like local governments, like the food safeties, and then of course it's interrelated. Some of our members are also interacted with these activities. So its health systems, they comprise three highly interdependent elements: the ecosystem, socio-cultural, demographic, economic, and political surroundings. Then is the healthcare delivery system is based on health problems and needs, health inputs, distribution, output, utilization, and outcomes. And then is it's very, very important, is the community involvement. An eco-socio-cultural system, healthcare delivery system, and community involvement, the organization's awareness, contribution, and utilizations. Then this WHO health system conceptual framework, the macro system, these are healthcare functions, stewardship, creating resources, financing, delivering services, then is responsiveness, financial contribution. These all leads to good health. So then there are social determinants of health, which is leadership, governance, health workforce, financing, all that. Then is quality, safety, responsiveness. All these are these system building blocks, and then leads to goals of the health system. And the HS functions, and I've already, health system functions I've told you: governance and leadership, policy analysis, then is the operational planning, organization. All these have been taught to you. And then the biomedical technology, vaccines, national regulatory authorities. Then there are health financing, I already told you, it is a resource mobilization. Then the purchasing of services, social health protection. All these were the functions of health systems. And then very, very important, service delivery by different organizations, public, private mix, healthcare centers. Then in that, the quality improvement. Of course, is the information and legislation for these health systems. Then the goal of the health system is to improve health, to reduce health inequalities, to secure fairness of financial contribution, and to be responsive to users' needs. These are our goals. And what the health system have contributed, he has improved basic health system development, and there is a role of social and economic determinants of health. The contributions of regression analysis of systems has shown high correlation. So you can see different the contribution of system, like the life expectancy rate have been increased, GDP per capita has been increased from passage of years. These are increased, and the different studies have shown that it has improved equity. Health systems have improved equity, increased efficiency, and increased responsiveness. And the health outcomes, the positive outcome has been largely increased during the better functioning of the health systems. So there are health system assessment frameworks, and it is measurement of indicators, social determinants, input indicators, coverage by service. All this I've told you in indicators of health. Then all these measurements of healthcare, these interactive goals, and all this comes under health system analysis, which you have already learned. And whatever we have concluded, that the health systems are important and it deserves to be strengthened. And health systems do interact with surrounding political, economic, and cultural environments, and these functions need to be mapped, assess strengths and weaknesses, and improve. It is a continuous process of assessment, strengthening, and improvement for the good implementations. And definitely the goals of health systems, they must be monitored and evaluated. Thank you very much.